What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and we are here to talk about some MLS action that we have on Wednesday. That is October 2nd, guys. 14 games on the schedule in the MLS. You're getting a free pick for every single one of those games here in this video. At the end of the video, I'm also giving out a free parlay for the MLS as well. It's gonna be a five-legger based on plus 510 if I'm not mistaken. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go in with a full unit on it, and I think we are making money on this one, guys. In addition to these MLS slate, these MLS games, we also have 9 games in the Champions League, and you're getting a free pick from myself, from Kirk, and Jack for every single one of those games. It's all up on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, guys. You can check it out. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button, and of course, feel free to leave a comment. As for my best bets go, you can go to the pickdawgz.com website to that premium section, or simply click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up, where you can get a daily pass, 3-day pass, or even a 7-day pass. And that is definitely your best value because it will cover you with the Champions League, with Europa League on Thursday. It will cover you with all the games over the weekend as well, and we have a very busy weekend ahead just before we go to the international break. So check it out, guys. Now let's get this show on the road. I will try to get through this as quickly as possible, guys. Like I said, it's a 14 game slate in the MLS. The first game being between Atlanta and Montreal. Two teams fighting to get to that wild card spot in the MLS. Both below it right now, but not by much. Montreal is tied with points with Philadelphia and Toronto, who are currently holding those wild card spots, while Atlanta is only 3 points below those guys. And I don't know, they just seem to be so inconsistent this season. They have 3 draws in a row, while Montreal is actually the better team at the moment, undefeated in their last 4 games. On a 2 game winning streak, they kept 2 clean sheets. However, those were games against Chicago and San Jose, two teams that have nothing to play for the rest of the season. So this is going to be a little bit of a tougher game for them. I think it's going to be a competition between these two teams, and I'm going to go with both teams to score at over 2.5 goals at minus 128. For our next matchup, guys, we have Charlotte playing against Chicago, and I'm going to keep this one very, very simple, guys. Charlotte is in the playoff spot right now. They could definitely use another win or at least a point out of this game to kind of secure that. Chicago at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, they're not going into the playoffs, no way. So at the price we are getting Charlotte for, I'm gonna take Charlotte on the money line at minus 143. NYC and Cincinnati is the next matchup, guys. And NYC is coming off of a massive performance against Red Bulls. They've beaten them on the road. They will be going into playoffs. They are now in fifth place in that Eastern Conference. Cincinnati is going to the playoffs as well. They are in third place. One of the best teams in the leagues this season. Definitely deserve to be where they are. But I have to go with goals in this one, guys. Both teams to score in over 2.5, minus 128. As much as NYC can score goals, they can't keep a clean sheet. So this one is fairly simple for me as well. Orlando and Philadelphia are facing off in the next matchup, guys. And you know what? Orlando has been on a decent run. They are coming off of another win. That one was on the road against Dallas. They've smoked them, and that basically knocked Dallas out of the competition for the playoffs. Philadelphia, on the other side, like I said, in a bit of a slop before, very inconsistent this season. They are holding that wild card spot, but they need a positive result out of this game. Now, whether or not that's going to happen, I'm a bit iffy there because Orlando is scoring a lot of goals. They've scored at least 2 goals in each of their last 5 games in a row. They've kept a bunch of clean sheets, especially when playing at home. So we are getting a great price for Orlando team total over 1.5 goals. It's minus 167. Okay, maybe not a great price. It's a bit juiced, but it's actually great to put it in the double with something else and get it into nice plus money. So Orlando team total over 1.5 goals at minus 167. For our next matchup, guys, Toronto is hosting New York Red Bulls, and this is the game where I'm actually gonna go and watch it live. I'm going to this game in Toronto. I think it's gonna be a fun one. New York Red Bulls, I would say fairly safe. They will be going into playoffs, while Toronto needs a win or at least a draw out of this game to get to kind of remain on that wild card spot. There is a competition going on before those four teams, like I said, so they need a win here. They have been solid against Chicago last weekend. They got a 1-1 draw in the end, which was unfortunate, but it's time for them to get back on the winning track. They haven't beaten anyone in their last four games since their last MLS home game. Actually, not the last one, but before the last against Austin 2-1. And with New York Red Bulls coming off of a horrible loss to NYC at home 5-1, I think that Toronto has a great chance here. So I'm going to take a bit of a gamble simply because I want to enjoy the game live and I'm going to cheer for Toronto in that one. I'm going to take them on the money line here as well, and it's plus 177. Off to the next one, guys, where we have Columbus and Inter Miami facing off. Now, in this matchup, we have seen goals and nothing but goals. In the last five games between these two teams, we have seen over 2.5 in both teams to score. We have seen a few unders in this matchup, yes, but since Inter Miami had two unders in a row right now, two 1-1 results, and Columbus is scoring like crazy at the moment, I mean, we have to take the goals. So, um, I mean, that is kind of my secondary pick here. Both teams to score in over 2.5. It is a bit juiced, which is why I decided to take as my first official pick of the video. Let's call it like that. Columbus over 5.5 corners at minus 128. They are extremely dominant team at home, while Inter Miami, I wouldn't be surprised if they were resting a few players in this match and just taking it easy since they have secured the playoffs long time ago. Um, I'm gonna go with Columbus over 5.5 corners at minus 128. Houston is hosting New England, who are basically out of the playoffs. I don't think they really have a chance anymore. They have 31 points. They are in 26th place. They're 6 points away from the wild card spot, and I don't see them getting there at all. While Houston on the other side is coming off of a loss to Seattle, but when playing at home, Houston is absolutely outstanding with only 13 conceded goals in 15 games. They're not scoring a lot, but then again, New England is not scoring a lot on the road as well. So I'm gonna take Houston minus one at minus 110 in this one. And honestly, the least we are getting out of this game will be a push. Nashville and DC United are two teams who don't have a lot to play for. I think that theoretically they still have a chance to get to the wild card spot. Let me just pull up the standings here real quick. Uh, well, DC has 34 points. They are 3 points away from the wild card spot. Nashville has 33 points. They're 4 points away from the wild card spot. Technically, it could happen, but both of these teams have been so inconsistent, especially Nashville. And DC United hasn't beaten anyone in their last three games. This one smells like a draw, guys. I'm going to go with the draw in this one plus 265. I potentially could see a 1-1, maybe even 2-2 game here. I think it's going to be a fairly competitive match. I don't think anyone will give up on playoffs just yet, but I just don't see either side having the consistency or the form at the moment to beat the other side. So I'm gonna go with the draw. On the West Coast guys, we have Colorado and Galaxy facing off in the next matchup. Both teams are in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. Colorado has been outstanding at home. Galaxy a little bit sloppy on the road while being the best home team in the league. As we can see, the over 2.5 heavily juiced. Both teams to score heavily juiced. We have to look for some value somewhere. And since I don't like the unders, I will never bet the under on a game like that because we could see 4, 5, 6 goals in this game. We could potentially see one or two as well. I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here, and honestly, I would not recommend this for this game. There are better games to bet on in the MLS, but if you do, over 1.5 goals in the first half at minus 114. Salt Lake and Minnesota are facing off in the next matchup, guys. And Salt Lake is in the playoff spot. They are in the third place in that Western Conference. Minnesota is currently holding the wild card spot with Portland as well. And I think that they will get the wild card spot at least, so they will get into the playoffs. But potentially, they're only 2 points away from the actual playoff spot, while being 3 points away from that sixth place, which is even higher than seventh playoff spot. So I think that in their current form, the way they have been playing, they could have a chance in this game against one of the best home teams in the league, which is Salt Lake. But I think we're going to see an all-out offensive matchup here. So I'm going to go with over 10.5 corners at minus 133. LAFC is hosting St. Louis, and we know that St. Louis is one of the worst teams in the league, especially when playing on the road. They did get the win finally on the road. They're scoring a decent amount of goals, but conceding over 2 goals on average when playing on the road. LAFC is now on a two-game winning streak. They were able to beat Cincinnati 2-1 on the road in their last MLS game. And now it's time for them to make a statement at home as well, start shaping their form for the playoffs. And with that in mind, guys, I'm taking LAFC to win at over 2.5 goals at minus 125. For our next matchup, guys, we actually have three games on the West Coast to finish off the video. Portland and Austin are facing off. Portland coming off of a 1-1 draw against Vancouver. They honestly could have won that game. They could have lost that game as well. It could have gone either way, but when playing at home, Portland is absolutely brilliant. 39 scored goals. They are getting Evander back for this game, who was suspended against Vancouver. While Austin on the other side on the road, conceding about a goal and a half on average, yes, but they're scoring zero point 0.5 goals on average on the road. They just don't have the offense. And with the amount of pressure that Portland will put on them, I mean, we have to take Portland. So I'm taking Portland to win and over 1.5 goals at minus 139. San Jose and Dallas, two teams that have nothing left to play for, in my opinion, this season, especially San Jose. They're at the bottom of the table. Dallas theoretically still has some chance, but I think that's only theoretically. I don't think that they can actually get there. Only one win on the road this season, five draws, nine losses. We have seen both teams scoring in the last one, two, three, six, 9 games between these two teams, while that hit in like 11 of the last 13 or something like that, and 11 of the last 12. And I'm gonna go with the same pick here as well, guys. Both teams to score in over 2.5, minus 125 between two teams that have nothing left to play for. And the last pick of this video before we get onto the parlay is the matchup between Vancouver and Seattle. Seattle was on a hell of a streak, and that got them into the playoff spot. They are now undefeated in their last 4 games. They didn't beat Vancouver in the last game on the road, but before that, they lost 2 times in a row. We've seen a bunch of draws as well. I think this is going to be a competitive game where neither side will want to lose this one, especially Vancouver, who needs every point possible to secure that playoff spot, which they are holding right now. But like I said, Minnesota is only 2 points behind them. So I think this is going to be a hard matchup. I don't think that either side will be too eager to attack, if I'm being honest. And in my mind, that is definitely sounding like a draw. So I will take the draw at plus 245. And now we are up to the parlay, guys. Atlanta versus Montreal, both teams to score. Charlotte on the double chance against Chicago. Orlando, Philadelphia over 2.5 goals. Portland team total over 1.5 goals against Austin. And LAFC on the money line at home against St. Louis. 5 leg parlay pays at plus 510, guys. Like I said, I'm going to go with a fully on it. And hopefully we get a nice winner in this one. Thank you for joining me here, everyone. For the Golden Boot VIP access, text the word GOLD to 443-780-5663. We'll get you set up with that as well. For my premium picks, you know the drill. Click the link in the description. Sign up, guys. Get that 3-day pass, get that 7-day pass, and you will get all of my premium picks for the duration of your pass. That's it, guys. Good luck. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you soon with more free winners.